guys. One of the biggest things that trips people up when they first get on this diet, when they first want to start living this lifestyle of fruitarianism, they get really emotionally involved with it because it's so exciting, and that's the way it should be. But with any sort of emotional involvement, there's the chance to get emotionally hurt and emotionally upset about things. So I don't really care if a hockey team loses a game because I'm not emotionally involved in the hockey game. But the crowd who's emotionally involved in that hockey game, if they lose, they're so upset. If they win, they're so happy. Me, I could really care less. But when I see a team win, of course it's happy. It's good times. But there's always a team that loses, so I just don't focus on them. So with raw food, you don't want to beat yourself up when you slip up. Because if you beat yourself up too hard, it's kind of like an older brother beating up the little kid. Your little brother. Older brother beats up the little brother, you know, play fighting, toughens up the kid. He grows up to be maybe a stronger kid. But if the older brother beats the crap out of the younger kid and actually like breaks his arm, that kid's gonna be like traumatized, and you might not go near another fight ever again. He might actually get weaker instead of stronger. So just like you go to the gym, you work out, you don't want to work out your muscles so hard that you can't train for another week, because then you're not going to get any better. You're going to spend too much time away from the gym. You want to spend every day in the gym if you want to get stronger. So you just work your muscles a little bit. And with raw food, if you beat yourself up to the point where you're just like, oh crap, I can't do it, and you go back to eat McDonald's, you beat yourself up that hard over it, you go all the way back to McDonald's, you fall off the wagon. Hard to believe, but some people do it. Or they just go back to being completely cooked vegan, they give up going raw altogether. That's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to just expect to fail. But if you don't like the word fail, call it learning. Expect to learn a lot about yourself. Expect to learn a lot about raw food when you get on this path. I make an attempt to break a personal record each week in fitness. And I used to be really scared of attempting these PBs, these personal best attempts. Because if I fail, I feel like a loser, and I beat myself up over it, and guess what? I wouldn't make another attempt for years. It'd take me years to go back and make another attempt. But now I don't see it as failure. I see it as a learning opportunity. So I go and I make a hard attempt as hard effort, give it my 100% best effort, and if I don't make it, if I fall short, I learn something. I learn a lot. And you learn more, we learn so much more from the times we lose or from the times we don't succeed than when the times we do succeed. When we do succeed, it's that we don't learn much because we just go on, focus on the next thing and try and learn that. But with raw food, you gotta give yourself time, and you gotta learn from everything that happens. You gotta learn about your thoughts, learn about your feelings, learn about your triggers, learn about your habits. I learned so much every time I went back and ate cooked food. And sometimes you gotta make the same mistake a bunch of times, like the exact same mistake, so you can learn different things about that mistake. So I made the mistake where I'd eat so many cashews that I would feel like absolute crap. I'd feel like puking almost. And I was like, oh my god, I feel like nauseous. Wake up the next morning, eat the same bag of cashews that were laying right by my bed when I went to bed. Brutal. I made the exact same mistake twice, but I learned two different things from it. I learned the first time that, well, you don't want to overeat on this stuff. And I learned the second time that, well, if it's bad the first time, it's gonna be bad the second time. So you gotta go through these experiences. It might be obvious from an outsider's point of view saying, duh, obviously don't eat pizza, don't eat McDonald's, it's gonna make you sick, or it's gonna make you fat, or it's gonna make you depressed, or it's not gonna let you reach your weight goals or your fitness goals. But from an outsider's perspective, it doesn't mean much because they're not in the arena. They're not the man in the arena. They're not the woman in the arena having to face these challenges. And in hindsight, it's so obvious. But at the time, in the moment, it's the learning experience. That's why you do this. That's why you're on the planet, to learn. So if you want to succeed on a fruit diet, think long term. Give yourself 2 or 3 years. Give yourself 5 years to pull this thing off. Have a vision of yourself. Know who you want to be like. Know what you want to be like. Know what you want to feel like. And know exactly what kind of life you want to be living. Because if you know what kind of life you're going to be living, diet's involved in that. And if you can get clear on that, if you get clear on the vision, then you can hold the vision, and then you can crystallize it into physical matter, physical reality eventually. But if you don't know what you want exactly in terms of your diet or your lifestyle, it's gonna be easy to slip up and not get back on track. When you have a vision, then you have a track, you have a path. So if you slip up, you can get right back on and go for it. But just don't beat yourself up to the point of being injured. I get upset a little bit if I miss a training interval. But I get right back on track and I go for it again. The difference between a professional and an amateur is 2 differences. The first difference is a professional, when they screw up or when they lose or when they get checked or something or when they fail, they can get right back on track much quicker than an amateur. And they can refocus, clear the focus, and get right back on track to make another attempt. And that's the second part. The second difference between a professional and an amateur is that the professional makes way more attempts and fails way more than the amateur. A professional fails more than the amateur attempts. Someone who's mastered something, someone who's mastered raw food, someone who's mastered fitness, someone who's mastered relationships, they've failed more times than other people have even made the attempt. So keep giving raw food a go. If you fall off, get back on track. It's all good, learn from it. If you fail, learn from it, get back on track. Share what you've learned. Share what you learn. Post on YouTube, post it on Facebook, write a diary. Share it with other people around you. Help other people. When you help other people get what they want, you can have anything you want. Just help people who are on the same path as you by sharing what you've learned. And you're gonna feel so much better about this whole raw food thing. It's so much fun, guys.